All right, well, good morning, everyone. Good morning to those of you tuning in via the live webcast, and good morning to our faculty and staff from our Delano campus. Thank you for joining me for this all-campus briefing regarding BC's response to COVID-19. When news first emerged of the coronavirus, I tasked a special advisory team on this matter to keep me informed with daily updates and status reports from the Kern County Public Health. In fact, I asked Cindy Collier to be my special advisor and keep tracking the information. I activated the Incident Command Center on February 27th and started my direct communication to the college campus. In the best efforts to keep our community informed, BC SGA President Samantha Polito, who is right here on the panel, along with Academic Senate President Stephen Holmes, who could not join us today, he's on a search committee right now, joined Cindy Collier and me in a video message to the campus this past Monday to share procedures with proper hand washing techniques and offer peace of mind that staying at home when feeling sick was the right thing to do. You see up here the website that has been created with the guidance of Nikki Damania working with Monica Scott. And this website is being updated several times a day to keep you informed with information as it's emerging both on the global scene as well as the local scene. I'm proud of the efforts and leadership displayed by our community thus far. As educators, we must be role models for our students and for our community. In fact, various teams around campus have been working around the clock to keep hand sanitizers filled, post communication materials, posters to bulletin boards and the website, and keep surfaces and door handles disinfected on a routine schedule. Thank you, Bill Potter and our M&O staff. Please give them a round of applause. I want to be clear, we are currently in level 1 of our protocol, that is educating our community. There is a briefing document up on our website that defines the 4 levels of that a campus can be in. Level 1 is just educating and planning. Level 2 is if there is an incident in our community, and based in our interaction with Kern County Public Health, we would move into level 2, which is an elevated alertness. And level 3 is if we are asked to shut down. In fact, University of Washington is the first institution that has really shut down its campus. It's hit the press a few hours ago, and they're moving completely to an online schedule to keep up with their instructional practices. So we are not anticipating to be in level 2 or level 3, but we are preparing if that situation were to arise. So the main message is, you will hear from all panelists, is to keep calm and stay calm. I have received several panicked messages from our staff and decided to do an all-campus forum today. I also received, when my email went out announcing the all-campus forum, that a forum will only elevate panic. But the team decided that the more information you have, the better off we are in adopting practices to keep our community healthy. So again, the best thing for us to do is to remain calm, continue to stay dialed in to the information provided to you, and to continue to frequently do the correct hand washing practice. If you are sick, please stay at home. Bakersfield College will continue to closely monitor the global and local development, and BC's COVID-19 advisory team will provide regular updates to the campus. On the instructional side, I've asked Vice President Billie Jo Rice to work with Senate President Stephen Holmes to ensure that we are prepared to minimize the impact on teaching and learning in the event that we are asked to shut down the physical campus. Billie Jo will share strategies that are being developed by the Academic Technology Department, and I'm Very happy to see our Dean for Academic Technology, Bill Mosley, here, as well as Matt Jones. So if you have any specific questions, faculty, you have the experts here who are working to prepare us if we needed to move into an online environment. Similarly, Vice President Zav Dadaboy is working with BC SGA President Samantha Polito and with Nikki Damania to get our students prepared. Thank you again. I also wanted to recognize our new Executive Director of Public Safety, Shelly Castaneda. Shelly, please stand up. Thank you. Give her a round of applause. I'm truly proud of the work that Shelly started doing immediately, even before we activated our Incident Command Center in getting our campus prepared, and you will hear more from her. So thank you for joining us today, and let's hear from our panelists.
So I guess I get to start. I'm Cindy Collier, and I am the acting director of the Health Center. So I really want to reiterate what Coach Christian said. The first thing is to stay calm. I know we're getting inundated with information right now, but really stay calm. That we're seeing more cases here in the United States. You see it growing almost daily. We're going to see more of them, and as the CDC has loosened up the guidelines for testing, we're going to see more and more cases. So that's just the reality of how it is happening. I think what's making this a little bit more nerve-wracking for us is we're being inundated with information. So is the international data showing that of those people from the international basis, only 80% of them 80% of them that were tested did not exhibit symptoms. 80% did not exhibit symptoms. And that's just those who were tested. The other thing you need to understand, there's a lot of people who develop flu-like symptoms who were never tested. So one of the things, I was on a call this morning with Russell Judd, who's the CEO of Kern Medical, and so we were talking about that, and he was on a call yesterday with the CDC. And one of the things that the CDC is saying, which has not been out in the press yet, but I think it will get there, is that the CDC really believes this overall mortality rate of 3.4%, which is what the World Health Organization is saying, is probably overstated, because they're saying that mortality rate is based on the number of deaths of people who are tested. We believe that the majority of people really are only seeing symptoms for like 12 hours or so they never ever are even caught in this whole get them tested, a number of cases. So that's what I want you to keep in the back of your head. At Kern County, we still have more deaths right now of the regular flu than we do of the coronavirus. So as of this morning, we still don't have any cases of coronavirus in Kern County. Yes, Kern County is testing. A few of them have been ruled out. But again, we don't have anything here in the valley. Actually, there's really nothing lower than about where is it, San Benito or someplace like that, which is north of Fresno. So again, keep that in the back of your head. And we have a great site on the website that kind of shows you what cases are, so that you could watch it. But I think my biggest message to you is don't panic. Really, I want you to know that our team, which is myself and Nikki and Charles Daramola. Charles, where did you go? I know you're here. Charles is our faculty member in public health sciences, so this is his love, and I'm sure, as a faculty member, you're going to love coronavirus, but he does because he knows how it affects the public, and it's a great teaching example for our students right now. But we're talking like daily, at least daily. I think it's hourly. We're talking and keeping each other up to date about what's going on and all of that stuff. In addition, I'm in direct contact with the Kern County Public Health Department. I have Matt Constantine, who's the director of the health department's cell phone, so he's texting me, I'm texting him. Again, we're following the guidelines from the Kern County Public Health, which really at this point in time is business as usual. We should be always doing good hand washing. We should be staying at home when we're sick. None of this is any different than any other illness. And Sonia's getting emails, I'm getting emails saying, should I stay home? What if I don't, I'm not diagnosed for the coronavirus. Should I stay home? You should stay home if you're sick regardless. I don't care what it is. If you're sick, stay home. You don't do any of us any good. I told Billy Joe my biggest concern that we're going to see is numbers of cases go up, is you're going to have absenteeism from students. And I think as faculty and staff, we need to figure out how are we going to handle absenteeism. So Billy Joe's coming up with plans for that. I do want to remind you that with coronavirus, it is really a respiratory disease. Different than the common flu, because coronavirus shows fever, cough, and shortness of breath. Your regular flu has things like aches and pains and runny nose and stuff like that. So respiratory etiquette, which is what we say in healthcare, cover your coughs, cough into a tissue, wash your hands, should be what we're doing all the time. There is no need to have masks out there. Masks don't protect you from this, and in addition, there is now a shortage of masks for healthcare people. It's awful. We have people in the healthcare environment that are stealing stuff. And you want to protect your healthcare environment. So really, well people, don't wear masks. Don't beat Bill up if you can't get the sanitizers filled rapidly, because we're having a heck of a time finding sanitizers because of the shortage. So again, what I want to share with you, and more than anything, soap and water is one of the best defenses. Plain old soap and water. And we don't have a shortage of soap. We have a shortage of hand sanitizer. So please, soap and water, 20 seconds, vigorous soap and water. And just like Sonia demonstrated on the video, make sure you're doing all aspects of your hand. But soap and water, and it doesn't even have to be hot water. Cold water works just as well as long as you're doing it. So really, please guys, I mean, I got an email yesterday that said, we don't have any hand sanitizer in the bathroom. And I said, do you have a soap dispenser? And they said, yes. And I'm like, great! So, soap and water. And if you can't find the hand sanitizers, because you're not going to, because that's an example of the fear that is out there with the public in general. We're hoarding. So again, symptoms again are fever, cough, shortness of breath. If you do any of those symptoms, if you have any of those, even if you have aches and pains and stuff like that, don't go to hospitals, don't go to urgent cares, because we need to protect the vulnerable population. What we're seeing is the people that are dying from this disease are vulnerable. They're over 50, they have pre-existing medical conditions. So those are the people you see in the hospital. So what we want you to do is call your healthcare provider, call the public health department if you don't have a provider, call an urgent care if you don't, and say, this is what I have, what should I do, okay? Most of the time, just taking care of yourself, having a strong immune system is one of the best things that we can do for ourselves. I want to share with you, as this grows and as we get more and more information, how I'm afraid stigma is going to come into play, and how fear sometimes makes us react in ways that maybe we weren't quite there. So yesterday, Nikki and I got a call about a student who was up in one of our centers, and they were working. The student had a swollen eye, and it was draining. The way the person described it to Nikki, it's draining all this green pus-looking stuff, and they're rubbing their eyes, and they're touching the computer keyboard, and what do we do? So Nikki and I went over, and I have to share with you, this was I think she was a Filipino student, young girl, and I'm afraid, I hope we didn't have a racial discrimination happening here, but she was sitting at the computer screen, like they said. Her eye was horrible. I pulled her off into a private area, and I said, what's going on with your eye? I had eye surgery yesterday. Oh, what are you putting in your eye? I'm putting eye ointment, because that's what her doctor told her. So you see how that case all of a sudden got kind of escalated into this fear? So I talked to the young lady and said, number one, quit touching your eye because those keyboards are filthy, and now you're going to get an infection in your eye. So I told her, we talked about the coronavirus. We talked about how that image of what she had going on, how that could scare people. And so I said, put a patch on your eye for crying out loud, and quit touching it and go wash your hands. But so I just want to share with you, I think the people who called us were well-meaning. I mean, they were very, very concerned, and they should be, because we should be cleaning our surfaces anyway. But I don't want us to overreact, and I want us to treat students well. If you see a student or a staff member or somebody and you don't know how to deal with it or don't know how to talk to them, call me, because I've been trained to do that, and Nikki and I, we will handle that, okay? But just keep an open mind that people are people, and it's everyday illness. Oh, the other one, that email that I just got, I told Sonia this, my script was changing on a moment basis because of emails that I'm getting. People are complaining about not having hand sanitizers. I want to share with you again, Bill can't get hand sanitizers any faster than he can. So I still want to go on and say, please guys, soap and water. Soap and water. Yes, sir.
at the grocery store yesterday. I heard the checker talking to one of the assistants there about how customers were complaining that they didn't have any hand sanitizer and they didn't know when they were going to be getting any in to the grocery store.
Yeah, it's true. And, and at this point in time, at least Governor Newsom with the state of emergency said, let's stop price gouging, which I think is great. Also, we need to prepare for the healthcare environments. Those are the people we really need to care about, because that's where, if you look at Washington and the deaths that are going on up there, it's in that long-term care facility, that vulnerable population. And we want to make sure our healthcare providers are equipped to care for ill people. So that really, supplies go to them. But my daughter runs urgent cares here in Bakersfield. She's being limited to the number of masks that she can have for her urgent care to 1 box a month. A box of masks is only 50 masks. She sees 150 people in her urgent care a day, and they're being limited. So again, when I say don't ask for a mask on this campus, don't, because we need to provide it for those people. So your job as educators and as people of this community is to keep that fear down. And really, we shouldn't be acting like hand washing is a new thing. Really, we should be doing it all along, right? I'm a nurse, I kind of get hung up on that. We should be taking care of ourselves anyway. We should not be here if we're sick. I don't care how busy you are in your job, or if Billy Joe has a project for you, we can work at home, okay? But again, please, all of us be very symptomatic of the people that you work with and the people that are around us. That's all I have to say.
Well, you took most of my points. But yeah, just the main thing is, keep calm, stay calm. I've been joking with Samantha as I think we need to make our next shirts as, the stay calm, keep calm kind of shirts, and put those out with the BC logo. I feel like one of those young ones that need to have that shirt with me at all times. But we've been working very diligently since January, when it's been brought to our attention. We created email, we started getting information out. Students within the Student Health Center have been coming in. Cindy's come and definitely talked to our staff. We've developed new protocols. We're ensuring students are able to get the service and the care that they need through our Student Health Center. So we're definitely developing and growing in that way. We've focused the energy of student health to really pertain into the student health realm versus just more events, and student life is taking on more of those events that are coming up, so that we can really ensure that the students that are being seen there are being seen there, and as fast as we possibly can. With M&O, we've definitely increased the hand sanitizer. I would just like to plug one more aspect than what Cindy has shared. If you have some hand sanitizers at home, carry it in a little container with you, so you have something with you at all times. Even if you go to the grocery store and they don't have towelettes or anything in that way, that you have something with you and you're not relying on another entity to provide it for you. Once again, soap and water is as good as anything, really making sure that all aspects of your hands are clean, making sure you're not touching your face as much will really help the spread of that. One of the things are, yes, Charles, do you have to say something?
I just want to add about the hand sanitizer. If you're going to get one, make sure it has a minimum 60% alcohol content. That's the important thing. If it says antibacterial, it's not going to help you do this. Sanitizer, 60% minimum alcohol content is what you need.
And because that is hard to find, soap and water, soap and water. And you'll find that even on our own campus, we don't have all alcohol-based hand sanitizer just because we can't get it. So yes, you can use the hand sanitizers, but don't assume that it's an alcohol-based. I really want to promote using soap and water. I just don't know how often I can say that. I'd rather you carry around a bar of soap in your bag and use that. I mean, I really would, because it's just going to get crazy. Bill knows, and I'm sure the prices of our sanitizer have gone sky high.
They have.
Yeah.
And we've been rationed. We can only get a case at a time now. So we have orders placed everywhere. We're getting them as we can.
So yeah, once again, soap and water, keep it on you at all times. If you need little bars of soap or travel size things, let me know. We have tons in the pantry. We can bring some to your office or some bathrooms or anything like that. Just let us know and we'll help you out. When students come to you for absentees or anything like that, that they're missing out on it, just let me know. I'll be more than happy to talk with the student in making sure that their needs are provided with the faculty member and seeing what we can do regarding those situations. A case-by-case situation, and especially in the classroom, and Vice President Rice will talk a little bit more about that. But one of the biggest resources we have currently right now is our website, the Coronavirus Update website. Please keep looking at it. If we have any updates, we'll send them out to you. We are doing 3 updates next week on the 9th, 10th, and 11th at noon in the 1140 room. It'll be a Zoom conference, so if you want to get there, it'll be short, quick. Any updates that we get, we'll provide. It may not have any updates or anything formally or informally that we know. We will let you know, and we'll let you know as soon as we have the utmost information. The ICC has been initiated by President Christian, as she had mentioned. We have been developing a pandemic protocol, which he had mentioned about the 4 phases, levels in the protocol. So please make sure that if you're looking at, we have updated them on the website. It is in draft form, so please just look at it. If you have any feedback, please provide that back to us. But once again, those are also standard on best practices that we have in that FEMA and other universities and University of Washington have been putting out. So we've been doing a lot of collaborative work. So moving on, I wanted to share a little bit of time with our BCSGA president, Samantha Polina.
Okay, hi. I just wanted to relay a message to my fellow renegades and all to you today that if you do feel sick, please stay home. Please relay this message to your students, remind them in the classroom, remind your student workers to just relay this message to them. That was it. Thank you so much. Wash your hands.
Thanks, Samantha, for being here. And then, so if you have any other questions, please send it to us via email. We'll try to get them as fast as we can. Some questions are very great, and we want to make sure that we're looking for those things, but as President Christian mentioned, we are at level 1, which is just education and informing the public. So there's no need to have any panic. Stay calm, relax. We'll get the shirts out soon. I'm kidding. All right, next I'd like to introduce to you our Executive Director of College Safety.
Good morning, everybody. Again, my name is Shelley Castaneda. For those of you that I've not yet had the pleasure to meet, I'm the new Executive Director of Public Safety. And as the COVID-19 situation evolves, I'm proud to stand with the leadership team at Bakersfield College to prepare our campus with any necessary communication or resources to keep our campus community safe. As you know, emergency preparedness is a necessary reality that we all have to deal with as a campus family, and so we will be working diligently to arm ourselves with proper knowledge for when, and to have honest and open communications and conversations about this incident, and make ourselves aware of what we have as far as options to keep our campus safe and healthy. So as always, public safety is here to help you and to assist you in any way that you are in need of. So don't hesitate to reach out to me or to my office should you have questions or concerns concerning this crisis situation. So now Vice President Rice will provide an update.
First I want to ask, we keep saying that we've triggered the ICC team. Do you guys know what the ICC team is? No? I wonder that. We get stuck in acronym land, right? ICC, Incident Command Center. Anytime there's a concern that can affect the campus, the president is proactive in those measures and will trigger the Incident Command Center. We all group up and start putting plans in place. So while there may be concerns and emails going out, I can assure you we have been working behind the scenes diligently in case of any scenario that could happen. And the two that I want to talk about, so let me go back again. I think we've all said it. Keep calm and stay calm, right? We have nothing going on here in Kern County at this time. We are in the planning stages, but looking from the educational side or the instructional side, working closely with ZAB, working closely with the Academic Senate, we are concerned with, or we know that we should be concerned with 2 potential situations. First, absenteeism. We've all been sending out emails saying if you're feeling sick, right, and this should be normal behavior like washing your hands. If you're feeling sick, I understand your workload because we move hard and fast around here to serve our students. But please stay home. That's for you, that's for your children, for your family members. We don't need to wear you down, we don't need to spread it. We don't need to come to work and share it with others, so please stay home. It also helps with the prevention of this spread. The second piece, though, is we've got to think, as we're advocating for you guys to stay home, we need to extend that grace to our students. We forget the piece where they are young and probably we think, oh, they're healthier, better immune system, right? They'll be right back, they shouldn't miss anything. The reality is a lot of our students have family members. They either need to go home and help with the younger children, they have children themselves. We don't know their family dynamics. They have individuals in their home that are a vulnerable part of the population. So that if they need to miss class, we need to figure out how that we can provide alternative assignments, right? Utilizing Canvas or email to ensure that they have no loss of time in instruction. Another piece of that is as we are implementing protocols, so are all of our local feeder schools. The elementaries, the high schools. You need to consider our child development center who's here on campus. When they have a student who may start showing signs of illness, they're going to call that parent, which means that parent needs to step out of class and then go take care of their family, right? The CDC, we have parents who get called out of class to go pick up their child. So that we need to extend that grace. That student may be sick, may not be sick, but the family member is sick. So if we can provide some alternative assignments, that would really help. The second piece of that is if we were to move to a physical closure of the campus, such as what happened in Washington, or is happening in Washington State. I'm very proud of our academic technology team, Bill Mosley and Matt Jones. They went straight into action. They have created handouts. So if you think about the CRNs, for every CRN or every course that we teach, we have a Canvas shell that is associated with that course. Not all instructors utilize those Canvas shells. However, if we were to go to a physical closure, our academic technology team has created fast handouts, minimal basic. How could you get up and running in Canvas, even if you're uncomfortable with it, right? How can I send a message to my students? How can I post an assignment? How can we interact so there's no loss of time in instruction? We still want to ensure that our students are meeting their student learning outcomes because our goal is to get them through here and kick them on to the next transfer university or out into employment so they can take care of their families, right? So there is one for faculty. There's also one for the students who may not be used to Canvas, that we can immediately deploy those so that we have no loss of time in instruction. I can't emphasize that enough. The second piece is in terms of student affairs side, we can do counseling online. We can still interact with those students, right? We have Zoom options nowadays. For in terms of A&R, all of Banner capabilities, we're in the cloud now. So we are looking at protocols to do that. So really, we can keep this campus running, we can keep our students moving, we can still conduct our work if we have to physically close the campus, all right? Hoping we don't deploy any of these measures, but if we have faculty that would like to get the basics down, these handouts will be on the website so that they can kind of get comfortable and even be proactive themselves. Is that a question?
So is there any discussion going on about science labs?
Science labs are a bigger challenge. I'm glad you brought that up. We're in talks about creative ways that we can still do that, right? I mean, hopefully it would be a short duration if that were to occur, but we do need to look deeper into some of those that don't quite lend themselves to the online environment.
I'll point out there are virtual labs, but it involves a cost for the students, so that might be an option. I don't know if maybe it would be that. Anyway, just throw it out.
Okay, let's have a little chat.
One of the emails that I got this morning, and I haven't shared it with Billy Joe yet, but it's the prisons. Those of us that are teaching out in the prisons, because the prisons don't have access to internet. So I went, I don't know how to address this. I'm punting to Billy Joe because we're going to have to address it. And it's interesting as this has happened, I think this is a great exercise. I mean, we're educators, so we should be kind of getting a kick out of this because it's forced us to look at all aspects of what we do. And so as we get emails, we're like, oh, what about the drum corps? Oh, what about the prisons? Oh, what about the science labs? You have to realize this is a huge cog, that all these moving parts, and it's really been fun to watch how everybody has come together really being creative in their thinking. So That's the positive part of this whole thing.
Some of our students don't have a computer and or internet at home, and they rely on the computers on campus to do their work. What about those students that aren't able to get onto campus and don't have the access at home to be online?
I hear you. We may have to get creative. I would hazard to guess most students, though, still have a phone. Canvas lends itself to that. There's the email capabilities, and it could be, you know, if you do not have that access, what might that written assignment look like for this time to meet this outcome? That when we get to the chance to get back physically, how can we address it, right? We're going to have to be creative. We've got to get our creative juices flowing, because the biggest thing is we don't want to lose time with the students. Yes, yes, sir.
I'd like to respond to that as well. It's a very small percentage of our students that actually rely solely upon the
It is, but they're still there.
It's a minuscule percentage. And what we'll be rolling out, in addition to some of these very surface level sort of triage documents, is more advanced training depending on the severity of the situation, the duration of the situation. We're also looking at ways to directly support students, and also rolling out some teaching tips for cell phone optimized teaching, because we know even right now that a great number of our students rely on their cell phones to access Canvas. So we're prepared to roll out support in several different ways.
We seem to have a grip on what we're doing with academics, but I know I've heard within my area, the classified staff are kind of concerned, how does that impact their role in their, outside of, because they support the student in a different way. So if there is a shutdown like Washington, how does that impact all the other people that are involved with education? Like, they go home and flood. I think that's a fear I've been hearing.
Okay. Well, the reality is with the Canvas, and I'm thinking, the way I'm interpreting your question is tutoring and that type of aspect?
No, our actual support staff, all of our secretaries and DA3s
So
and student workers.
from an HR standpoint of employees, if you have to shut down the campus, no one's wages are going to be impacted. They'll go home and they'll be working with your supervisor. So, I mean, it'll be like a reasonable amount of work. So, for example, for a receptionist who might be in the welcome center, you'll still stay at home. And so no one's going to get docked in terms of pay or any of those.
So you may add for work-study students, they will not get docked as well. So our students will not be financially
In addition,
determined
I
for
want
that
to say,
also.
many companies are looking at this. I mean, we, with our support staff, a lot of them could have, say if they went on a self-quarantine, they're just not really demonstrating sickness, but they're quarantined for 14 days. They're home, they could be working from home. I mean, we all have emails, we all have Zoom. So there's ways that I think any manager could be creative with their staff. I mean, if the direct interaction stuff will have to be dealt with Bill, Joe, and Zach, but I think the manager could handle giving you plenty of chores, and they probably get more done when you're at home and not being interrupted as much. Just saying.
I had a question about cleaning around the offices and our spaces that we occupy right now. I know in campus safety we have tried to be a little bit more proactive as far as cleaning on a more daily basis or more frequent basis. Do you guys have any recommendations for what we should do in that case, what we should do right now to kind of keep spaces clean and that sort of thing, so to maybe minimize any type of potential outbreak?
Bill, you want to, or you want us to?
What's that? Go ahead.
You know what, I can tell you, I've just been doing walking rounds of the campus pretty frequently for the last week and a half or so. And I am amazed at how many times I are seeing students wiping stuff down. You can actually smell that antiseptic sort of smell. It kind of smells like a hospital anymore, which is really a college. But so I think people are doing that. A lot of people have those wipes, just sanitation wipes, or bleach wipes, things like that. So I just think this shouldn't be new. We should have been doing this all along. Keyboards, computers, phones, those are just, putrid dress for germs. I mean, but so I can you're smiling over there. But yeah, so I think just normal everyday cleaning. I don't think it should be anything more. If people are sneezing and coughing at a keyboard, wipe it down.
So I have a comment from Kenward Vaughn, who's watching this. Hi, Kenward. So he wanted me to let you know that do not accept things heard or read on the internet. Verify the source, like the CDC. But out there. So.
These websites are great because they truly are the sources. The CDC, the California Department of Public Health, Kern County Public Health, those are the sources. Any other sources, and I hate to say this, not all news sources are accurate. So really pay attention, and they're doing a really good job of providing, like, update as of March 5th, update as March 6th. They're pretty much updating daily, maybe not on the weekends. So just, Kimber's right. Don't believe everything you read on the internet or what you hear. Really, you guys are educators, smart people. Use your resources because it's really telling the true story.
I've got a question for you about you had mentioned something about the 80%. Could you restate that?
What they're thinking is 80% of all people who were tested showed mild or no symptoms whatsoever.
I misheard you then. Okay.
Yeah. So really, risk is low.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just low. We just got to keep that in the back of our head. Risk is really low, and for most cases, it's a flu season, and a coronavirus is just a flu. It's just a different type of flu. So that's the thing. And Kenward could probably reiterate this. We're having more hype about this flu than we've had some that have been more deadly in the past. And that's what I find fascinating by this. Our mortality rate is lower than things like SARS or MERS. Those were horrible flus that had high mortality rates. We didn't hear the public go on and on and on like that. So I just want you to keep that in mind. We're just being inundated with information right now.
Is there something that we could be doing for our keyboards or the computers in our classrooms without destroying them?
I'm not a technology person, so maybe that's a thought or...
So it's probably the same thing. I mean, if you have the Clorox wipes or something like that, ideally if it's off when you do that, and make sure it dries before you turn it back on. I don't recommend, it's not a lot of moisture on those wipes, but a couple of drops drop in the wrong spot might make for an exciting experience. So if the machine's off, just wipe down your keyboard good, wipe down any surfaces around your keyboard, your mouse, whatever, and then let it dry and pull it back on.
Household bleach kills a lot of things. I mean, so you just dilute stuff with water, bleach and water.
Yeah, don't use soap and water on your keyboard, please.
Yeah.
It's the one time I'm going to go against Cindy. Don't use soap and water on your keyboard.
So I'm just getting word that the chat on the live stream is not working properly. It is in the Ustream if you're to refresh your page. But if you'd like to send us emails or reply back to the email I sent out this morning, we can get back to your questions if we're not able to get them to today. Just letting people know that.
Do we have any recommendations on travel?
Business as usual.
Okay.
Yeah. And if anybody wants handouts, they will be on the our webpage, but we made a few copies for today. Sir?
I just had a quick question. Kind of going back to keyboard therapy. Y'all said that the surfaces and everything are being wiped and sanitized daily. At least, are keyboards and computer mice and everything included in that? Are those being wiped down and cleaned? Because students who do rely on those technologies almost exclusively on campus, or even the ones that are just here, say in the computer center down in the library or something, constant turnover of people touching. If they're not getting cleaned up, then it might be, So we're doing our best to clean when we can and when we can sanitize, but like you mentioned, their computers with turnover are happening 20 minutes, hour. The best thing we can stress is, and stresses the students, stress to everyone, is be proactive on what your needs are. You know your immune system. Wash your hands. So if I went into the computer lab right now and used the computer, I would try not to touch my face or anything. When I'm done, I would go to the restroom and wash my hands and be done. We can't go in there and sanitize after every student sits there, and we know that problem as well, but bring hand sanitizer, use soap and water, know yourself. We're going to have to proactively take care of ourselves a little bit on this because we can't go in there and sanitize at all times because we don't know when someone stepped up or if they're sick with a flu or anything else. I mean, so it's going to be a lot of washing and taking care of yourself after you use a common area. Hopefully in your office, a lot of our offices, we're the only ones using our computers, so we can clean them up and maintain it. But if you're using a shared device, encourage people to wash their hands after. Don't eat while they're using the device and that kind of stuff. I mean, but those are being
wipe down?
In our area,
I'll check
that's
it.
part of the routine of our staff. They go through hourly and they wipe down everything. So that's, I think if the area is covered by staff, that we can take that upon ourselves and not have to rely on maintenance to do that because we just take care of our own area. So I know in the Success Lab we're doing it.
I'm just thinking like in 852, which is the English computer lab, if they're going in and wiping those down because those are used daily, or like, you know, the computer science classrooms, et cetera. Just if they're going down and doing like a daily wipe down as part of their regular cleaning duties, I just wanted to find out if they were doing that too.
I think there's daily wipe down right now on every device.
Okay, any other questions? Yes, ma'am.
One thing that we can do is we can kind of take a look at all of these labs that exist, and then take a look at, you know, our departments. For instance, we have a lot of peer mentors, and we can assign some of our peers to just make sure that they have a check every couple of hours. So if I can help with you.
Okay. All right, any other questions? Final thoughts?
Well, thank you, everyone. Nikki and Cindy are going to staff next week for 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, between 12 and 12:30. They're going to be at the Levinson 40, the faculty and staff dining room, and they'll also be live on Zoom, so there are questions. And then after that, we will reassess what other communication systems we need to, but we'll be 3 days next week out there providing updated information. So thank you for coming, and I loved what Kimberly said. Let's take this on as a shared responsibility for all of us to be communicating to keep our campus safe and healthy. Thank you very much.